Hello everyone, thank you for checking out this video. My name is Cooper, and in this class I'm going to take you through a 15-minute stretching and mobility session. Let's start with a little bit of a warm-up and then we'll move on from there. Alright, so the first thing I want us to do is widen your stance quite a bit. We're going to put our hands on our knee as we lunge towards one side. You can keep the back leg straight. The side we're lunging towards, bend that knee, push the butt back, keep the chest up. And then we'll switch to the other side. Just switching back and forth, trying to warm up the joints. Make sure that your legs are wide, angle the feet out just slightly, maybe about 15 to 30 degrees. All right, you can walk the feet in together, and then we'll just tilt to one side and then the other. So the feet are right under the hips. We're just trying to reach down towards one knee, bending at the torso, warming up the obliques and the spine. Sliding the hands up and down, warming up the torso and the sides, the oblique muscles. All right. You might widen your feet again, just a little bit, just outside of shoulder width, hands on your hips. We'll move the hips in a big circle, keeping the legs straight. We're just trying to warm up the hips as much as we can before we jump into any serious stretches. We don't want to jump into the stretches without a little bit of a warm up. Let's speed up the hip movements and switch to the other direction. Just a couple real slow, and then we'll get a couple real fast. All right. And relax. So now clasping the fingers, we're just going to roll the wrists, warming up the wrists as much as we can. You might transition to the, change the direction that we're rotating, and then change again. All right, press the palms away from you. We can raise up above the head, and then tilt to one side, and tilt to the other side. All right, hands behind the head now. We're gonna tilt the head down, stretching the back of the neck. Close the elbows together, and then open the elbows up as we puff the chest out. Big chest here, puff the chest out, and then we'll close the elbows down again. Stretch the back of the neck, maybe lifting up on the skull just a little, and then open back up. So we're getting a slight hunch in the upper back and in the neck. And then we're going to reverse it as we open the elbows to the side. We really want to press the shoulders back towards the back of the room as far as we can. Opening everything up and then closing again. Great, so now clasping the hands behind the back, we're going to roll the shoulders back, open the chest as far as we can. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Externally rotating the shoulders. Big chest here, opening the chest, very proud chest. And relax, good. Shake it off. Let's go ahead and move down to the mat now for this first set of movements. The first thing I want to do are some cats and cows. So we're going to start by checking to make sure that your wrists are right below the shoulders, knees right below the hips, and you want your feet in line with the knees and hands. So we're creating a line with your feet, knees, and hands on both sides of the body. From here, we're gonna let the head hang, just drop the head down. We're gonna hunch the back as much as we can, rotating the hips back, tucking the tailbone under, let the head hang, and then breathe in as you puff the chest out. Let the shoulder blades squeeze together behind you and arch the back. The hips roll forward. From the tailbone to the head, we want everything in an arch. Breathe out as you hunch, and then we'll just move back and forth from an arch to a hunch in the back. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, perfect. So now widen the knees just a little. We're Point the toes, bring the big toes together, sit back on your feet. We're gonna walk the hands out until the elbows are nearly on the ground. Sitting in a child's pose here. Just let the head hang down. You can put the forehead on the ground. Breathe, deep breaths, and relax. Breathe for just a couple seconds here. And then slowly walk the hands over to the left as far as you can. You want to feel the stretch maybe in the lats a little bit below the armpit, and maybe down into the low back. Hold, breathe, deep breaths, and then slowly walk your hands over to the right. Same idea. Trying to stretch the lat on the left side and down on into the low back. Slowly transition back to the middle. And then here in the middle, crawl the fingers out as far as you can. Place one hand in the middle of the mat, the other hand on top. So right hand on the bottom, left hand on top. And we're going to twist towards the right side. You want to feel this a lot in the right lat, the back muscle, the upper back. Good. Switch hands now. So right hand is on top of the left, and we'll twist to the left side, feeling that stretch in the upper back on the left side. And then slowly twisting out of that, widen the hands, lower down to the mat. Good. All right. Go ahead and work your way out of that. So now we're going to lean forward at the knees, pressing forward. We're going to slowly let the back arch. Keep the shoulders rolled back, puff the chest out. Deep breath in as we look upwards. Don't force this one. Just move as low as it feels comfortable. If you have any pain, don't go into this one at all. You can avoid it altogether. Go ahead and move the butt back. Walk the hands forward a little bit further. We're going to see if we can lower the chest towards the mat, keeping the butt in the air. Try to stretch the chest, reaching those arms way up in front of you. Good. Slowly walk the hands back. So now we're back to that hands and knees position. Wrists right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Spine is in a line. Then we're going to take one hand, thread it under the other hand, flaring that elbow out as we reach the shoulder down towards the floor. And then breathe, relax, relax, relax. Hold that for just a few seconds. Slowly slide out of that. And we'll go for the other side. Same thing. So get that wrist right under the shoulder. My left hand is threading under my right arm, trying to get that shoulder on the ground, and then just relaxing. You want to feel this in the shoulder on into the lat, the back, the upper back. Good. Slide out of that now. Okay, so now we're just going to waddle side to side, slowly walking the fingers outward. See if you can really start to lean side to side to start to stretch out the wrists. Back and forth, until you get the fingers pointed as far back towards the knees as possible. And then sit back a little bit. We want to put some pressure in the flexors in the wrist, the bottom part of your wrist. Lean back. Maybe turn the hands in even further if you can. Lean back. Stretch the wrists. Maybe waddle a little bit more. Then we can slowly walk the hands back out of this. Leaning way over the wrists on both sides, until we have that gap between your index finger and your thumb facing straight forward. We're going to tuck the toes under, lift the knees, stick the butt in the air, and then we'll just walk out in a downward dog position. So just walking from one, straightening one leg out, bending the opposite knee, and switching sides. Trying to wiggle out any stiffness in the hamstrings and the calf. All right. So now go ahead and switch down to your backside, to your butt. We're gonna bring one foot in towards the thigh and reach towards the opposite toe. So with both hands, we're trying to lift up and over and grabbing that toe, straighten out the left leg. Right foot is in towards the thigh. Hold for just a couple seconds, and we'll switch to the other side. Same idea. Left foot comes in towards the right thigh, and then we'll reach with both hands towards the right toe. Keep that spine as nice and tall as you can. Good. All right, so now both feet are straight out in front of you, hip width with the feet. Reach up and over, see if you can grab for the toes. You can bend the knees a little if you need, just to get a little lower, and then straighten them again. Trying to stretch out the hamstrings, the glutes, and a little bit in the low back as well. Keep the spine nice and tall if you can manage it. And slowly walk the feet in until the soles of your feet are together. From here, we're gonna go into a little bit of a butterfly stretch. Grab the ankles, sit up nice and tall, and we'll push down on the thighs using your elbows. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll put the elbows into the thighs, pressing the knees down towards the ground on both sides of you. Sit up nice and tall, try to hinge the hips forward. And then you might grab the toes and lean forward. If you can fold over your feet, even better. It's whatever you can manage. All right, so now go ahead and lay all the way back. Knees are up in the air. See if you can get your hands on the ankle or heel of both feet. And from here, we're just gonna press the hips way up in the air. Keeping those knees pressed apart, don't let them fall together. Knees pressed apart as we push the hips up as high as possible. Roll the shoulders back, puff the chest out. Hold, hold, hold. And then we'll slowly lower back down. So from here, we're gonna straighten one leg out. Lift the other knee up in the air so that we're at a 90-degree angle in the hip joint. Place that hand on the knee. Shove the hip into the earth and we'll pull to the side. So this is a piriformis stretch. We don't want to focus so much on twisting the spine as much as we do stretching the glute area. It's beneath the glute. Pulling to the side, almost like we're prying against the opposite hip. Go ahead and switch sides. Straighten that leg out, bend the opposite leg. So now I'm stretching my right piriformis, pushing that hip into the ground and then pulling against the opposite hip. I want to feel that in the butt, in the glute area. And relax. Okay, so from here, we're gonna cross one ankle over the knee. See if you can slide both hands through, grab hold of that lower thigh, pull in. Make sure that your hips don't leave the ground. Keep the hips down on the ground the whole time. Chest puffed out, spine nice and straight. If you can reach, go for that knee or the shin bone. You might feel the stretch even deeper. Pull in with the hands as much as you can. Again, without lifting the hips off the ground. Go ahead and switch sides now. So we're gonna put the left ankle on the right knee, threading the hands through, grab hold of the the right thigh and pull in, puffing the chest out. Spine is nice and tall. If you can get a hold of that knee or the shin, even better. Just make sure your hips aren't leaving the ground. Keep the hips down. Pull in, pull in, pull in. Go ahead and relax. All right, put the feet together again. We'll do another butterfly pose, but this time laying on our back. Just let the knees press down towards the ground on both sides. Opening up the groin area. Keep the feet in towards you as much as you can. And try to relax. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Lift the knees up, bring the legs in together. We'll let both legs fall to one side. Keep the spine in a line. Make sure that even though we're rolling over, we don't want to create any exaggerated S-curve in the spine. And then switching to the other side. So about a 90-degree angle in the hips and knees, then pulling over to the side. You can use the other arm to keep the shoulder down. So even though my legs are falling to the left, I want to make sure that my right shoulder remains on the earth. Don't move the whole body. Keep that arm pinned down. Use the arm for some weight. Go ahead and bring both knees up. We'll give the knees a hug. Squeeze them in towards the chest, lift the butt off the ground, and then back down, back up, back down, and relax. That concludes our 15-minute stretching session. Awesome job. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be seeing you around in one of our classes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.